We're going to turn our attention to a story that's been picked up in the press this week. A student in her third year at Leeds University has been suspended from her role as head of student radio after a complaint about her gender-critical views.
Well, the suspension followed a blog post she wrote and an interview with a detransitioner. Free speech...
I just say a detransitioner is someone who is going to transition or has transitioned to another sex and then decides, actually, no, they don't want to, and reverses whatever steps they've taken.
Yeah, that's right. And free speech campaigners argue it's a breach of her rights. And to join us to discuss this now is Connie Shaw in the studio. Connie, thanks for joining us in the GBNews
Thank you for having me on.
Studio. What's happening? This is a bit of a mess, isn't it? So what have the university said to you? Why have you been removed from that role?
Well, it's interesting because I haven't actually been told specifically what I've done, which has resulted in me being removed from my committee position, which was head of daytime. I started a podcast in September in which I interviewed Charlie Bentley-Astor, who's a detransitioner. I then also interviewed Graham Linehan and I wrote an article for his Substack. And shortly after that, I was told that I had been suspended and the university union started an investigation into me. And that very quickly became apparent to me that it was an interrogation of my gender-critical views rather than any sort of misconduct that I had been alleged to.
Right.
And Graham Linehan has been outspoken on issues relating to transgender ism, whatever you want to call it, gender ideology. And so perhaps just by having associated yourself with him as a controversial figure, that was why the investigation happened, you suspect?
Yes, and already it's quite clear that guilt by association is a crime that you can commit within university societies. I actually purchased my free speech union membership way before this all happened, when a friend helped me edit the episode with Charlie, and he got in trouble with a separate society who told him that he must disassociate himself from me, and if he didn't, further measures would be taken. So at that point, I thought, wow, I better put some damage control in place and purchase my membership in case anything happens to me.
So this decision is made by the student union, right? Is that made up of fellow students? Or who's making this call?
Well, that's actually part of my appeal. So the process has been completely improper. They haven't followed their own guidelines. There are two different guidelines as to whether a complaint is dealt with the society itself, so Leeds Student Radio, or the union, and it's basically been a mishmash of both. So it's been an improper procedure, but it is, as far as I'm aware, it's the student union who's decided to remove me, but it's a recommendation that they've given to Leeds Student Radio, so it almost felt like it was up to the students themselves, and as well as the fact that when I was suspended, or before the investigation was over, my face and name were removed from the website and from the wall that had my face displayed.
Oh my goodness.
So it felt like I was already found to be guilty before the investigation was over.
You being erased. Now, for those who don't know, Leeds Student Radio, people might say, oh, yeah, well, that's not a big deal. But actually, if you're a student who wants to go into broadcasting or a career in the media, it's a really great way to get some experience, to get your foot in the door, isn't it?
Leeds Student Radio was awarded the award of Best Student Radio Station in the country for the second year in a row at the Student Radio Association Awards a couple of weeks ago, and that's a massive deal. Yeah. It's a massive deal for student radio.
And have you been accused of being transphobic or bigoted in any way or discriminatory against transgender people? What have they actually said to you?
Well, students say that to me and about me, but that's not what the union have said to me. They actually dropped the charges, suggesting that I had risked the health and safety of students, which was one of the allegations, that I had put in danger the health and safety of students and not acted in a duty of care. But the thing that I have apparently been removed from, why I've been removed, is because I have brought the union or the society into disrepute, but I don't know how I've done that. They won't tell me exactly what I've done. And they claimed it wasn't an investigation into my gender-critical views, but they asked me, how do you maintain an inclusive environment when your choice to post your views makes some people feel unincluded?
Do you find that across the university more generally there's a negative attitude towards free speech and these sorts of problems? Does it bubble up often over other issues?
Well, clearly, yes. As a station, we've had issues to do with talking about Israel and Palestine, being advised just to avoid it as a topic, to avoid offending people or not being impartial. So, yeah.
Using the internet without a VPN is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. We want to help protect you. This video's sponsor, Private Internet Access, is the VPN to help keep you safe. Now, you might be asking, what is a VPN? Well, a virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. This way, it shields your digital life from the eyes of those that are looking to exploit your private information. Whenever you connect to the internet on a public Wi-Fi network, such as at airports, coffee shops, friends' houses, or even in your own home, your data is at risk of being stolen. Hackers that are connected to the same Wi-Fi network have the ability to steal your personal data with ease. T-Mobile reached a settlement this year with the US Federal Communications Commission after they suffered data breaches in 2021, 22, and 23. In 2023 alone, over 37 million customers' data was exposed. And it's not just hackers to be concerned about. Information can be censored. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news content that you love. Private Internet Access is available for all platforms: Windows, macOS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one Private Internet Access subscription to protect an unlimited number of devices at the same time. Plus, we've got a huge GBNews discount. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get 83% off PIA. That is under £2 a month, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee. So head to piavpn.com/GBNews to start protecting yourself digitally today.
I mean, it is crazy, isn't it? I mean, it sounds almost old-fashioned, and, you know, people on this channel do say it ad nauseum, but, you know, universities are supposed to be somewhere where you challenge your ideas and you learn about things that might feel uncomfortable, or, you know, someone might disagree with you vehemently about the transgender issue or anything else. I might disagree with you on Israel-Palestine, but it doesn't matter because you're supposed to learn from one another. So how are you taking this forward? You're with the Free Speech Union, and what are they doing for you then in practical terms?
They're appealing on my behalf, so I've had excellent help from them, and they understand all the legal side of it, and that's why we're claiming that, well, we believe that I have been discriminated against on the basis of the Equality Act, where my views are specifically protected. But in terms of going forward, I'm a member of Academics for Academic Freedom, and they have a student branch which is open to all students across the country who are keen to protect freedom of speech and freedom of academia. And it's from organisations like that that really encourage me to continue talking about these issues and not go quiet. So I'd recommend to any student who has concerns about freedom of speech to get involved.
Well, well done you for having so much confidence, you know. It's not easy, is it, when you've got students acting against you. You don't know exactly what you're being accused of here. You don't know why you've lost your role at the radio station and everything else, but to pursue it with people else and, you know, get in touch with people. I mean, it shows a lot of oomph, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, universities at the moment, they are a bit... There's an orthodoxy, isn't there? And if you go against that, you pay a huge price socially, your studies, your potential career aspirations. It's massive.
You're fighting back, so good luck to you.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, Connie. Hopefully we'll catch up with you soon and find out how things are going.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's just ridiculous that you can lose it without actually being told what you've done wrong exactly.
Exactly, and how the whole thing is so opaque. Now, in a statement, I'm just going to read what the university says. So, Leeds University said the union said the following: "Inclusivity is one of our core values, helping to ensure that everyone can enjoy their university experience free from discrimination. Due to an ongoing appeal, we are unable to comment further on this case. We have also reached out for a response."
OK, well, there you go. There's the response so far. It's very strange, isn't it, this language around... you know, everyone should feel a certain way, everyone should feel comfortable. But someone's going to feel uncomfortable about something you say, or someone might feel uncomfortable about something I say.
That's the point, isn't it? That's the point.
So what? Get over it. Anyway, this is Good Afternoon Britain on GB News.